So a lot of discussion, obviously, tonight about Donald Trump, Nikki Haley, the Republican nomination. We see how strong the former president is, obviously, tonight. And then there will be a lot of questions about what happens next for Nikki Haley. She's not going to speak tonight. But Kellyanne, your thoughts on what takes shape when this nomination is wrapped up? Look into your crystal ball a little bit. What do you think?
Well, Nikki Haley ran as a Republican for president, so I would hope that she is willing to step up and attack Joe Biden with the sort of alacrity and viciousness that she's been attacking Donald Trump of late. I know it can happen, and I'm fairly confident that he can bring her back in because he did this in 2016, Trey, to your point. You have to bring everybody back. Rick Perry, Ben Carson ran against him for the nomination. He put them in the cabinet. Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Scott Walker, Chris Christie, certainly. Marco Rubio, all ran against him. We're all allies of ours, really on the daily, policy-wise, and in the case of Governor Christie, a very close personal friend of the Trumps all that time. I'm really vexed and perplexed by what's happened with Nikki Haley because she's a close personal friend of Jared and Ivanka's. They posted pictures publicly of visiting her in Kiowa Island in the summer of 2021 with their children. There were people in the White House trying to kick Mike Pence off the ticket as vice president in 2020, a foolish idea that Donald Trump never supported. But there were those trying to do that to replace Mike Pence with Nikki Haley. So I don't want people to be fooled that Nikki Haley and Donald Trump were at odds or weren't allies before all this happened. I think one important thing to note for Nikki Haley, who did have a big event sponsored by Charlie Kushner, Jared's father, at his beach house for her, and where he announced she'll be the first female president of the United States. I think he meant sometime down the road, I'm sure. But when I look at Nikki, the more she's attacked Trump personally, the more her unfavorables have climbed. She's somebody who is seen as middle-of-the-road unifier. Women are often seen as consensus builders, great negotiators, generally interested in what the other side thinks and how to come to a deal. And I feel like the Nikki I know has been going in the opposite direction. So I'm hoping very soon she'll come back. I'd love to see her at Mar-a-Lago talking to President Trump, figuring out a way to bring some of those voters back in the fold. But if you're a close personal friend of the First Order and her husband, I would think that you're not too far afield from coming back into the Trump orbit.
And for the former president, you both worked with him. Is he in that mindset, do you think? Bring her back in?
Look, he could be, and I think he will be. He's a very smart guy. He's a very good negotiator. He understands how important it is to unify the party, and then some, because he's going to edge into the Democratic Party. But the mistake that Nikki Haley is making, besides the ones that Kellyanne mentioned, she's actually out there blaming the Republican Party. She's now running against the Republican Party. The Republican Party is Donald Trump's party. As I said earlier, it's not the party of college professors and elites and Silicon Valley billionaires. It's the party of working folks. And he's building this broad-based coalition around that theme. And they want to have a better economy, they want to have safer streets, and they want to have a safer border and restore America overseas. She can't just run against the entire Republican Party and then hope to be welcomed back into the fold. That's a mistake she's made in the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. Now, can that be patched up? Of course it can. I'm old enough, or I'm of a certain age, to remember that John F. Kennedy got it back with Lyndon Baines Johnson, and I've seen even weirder things in the Republican. I used to be a Democrat, by the way. I've seen even weirder things in the Republican Party.
Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush as well.
That's...
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.